Hello, friends. I'm Andrea Morris, and welcome to another episode of Spill the Wine, our podcast about wine. I am very, very excited to be here today with Doug and Corinne from 13th Street Winery. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Oh, welcome.
Our pleasure.
Well,
Thank you.
I shouldn't say for being here because you are here at your winery. So, yeah.
No, we're glad to have you here. Let's talk about wine and have some fun.
We definitely will. And it's hard not to have fun here. You have an absolutely stunning property.
Well, thank you.
I have always loved coming here and just walking through the sculpture garden. And you have amazing art everywhere around this place. So it's not just like a liquid expectation of fun, but also a visual.
Well, wine is the focus here. We strive every day, both in the vineyard and the cellar, to produce excellent wine. So that is the focus. But we strive also to provide more than just the product. A wine experience is what we hope to deliver, and it, without sounding pretentious, a life experience. There's many facets of 13th Street for people to enjoy, from the wine bar to the bakery to the art gallery, the sculpture park, which you've mentioned. It's all part of what we offer for wine lovers, also sort of families, people with dogs and kids, and everybody's welcome here.
Listener, if you've never been here, it's a really fantastic experience. You can bring your dogs. Kids can run around all around here. And also, for people that love butter tarts, 13th Street Bakery is known around the Ontario and beyond for their butter tarts, which I know isn't the focus of our podcast. But we will get to the wine. So let me ask you both a little bit about the history of 13th Street. How did the winery come to be, and how long has it been around?
Well, 13th Street was started in 1998 by four founders that were award-winning amateur winemakers that decided to go commercial. And they really set the bar and were one of the early pioneers in the industry for creating traditional method sparkling wines and full-bodied Gamay. Those are the two specialties. And I really give them a lot of credit for establishing that as a focus for 13th Street, which we have maintained to this day. We've added a lot of other types of wine, other experiences, but those Gamay is a real critical part of what we do here. And so in 2006, my partner and I became involved. In 2008, we purchased the winery and we moved it here down the road to 13th Street in 2009. And we've been here ever since. And we've grown over the years, as you know, to what it is today.
So when you first purchased it, how many of these original buildings were here?
About a quarter of the buildings were here. This farmhouse was built in the 1800s. It was pretty old. And there was an implement shed where the tractors were stored, where we started making wine, and then everything else has been built.
So all the wine is made on property?
In the beginning, we made some of the wine at the original site on 13th Street and some of it here. And then in 2010, we started making it all here.
And all of your grapes are grown on property?
Yes, they are. We do purchase grapes from other growers as well. There's some varieties that we don't grow ourselves, like Syrah, that we purchase from other friends and growers, neighbors.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what we do here in the Bench area. Everybody helps everybody out. And
that's right.
One of those kind of things, right? Mm-hmm. Now, Corinne, what is your role at the winery?
So I'm Executive Director of Program Development, which involves designing some really unique programs and events that we host primarily to our barrel club, our wine club, and we also sell them to customers. I oversee Wine Club, which is one of my favorite parts of my job here, and the winery retail.
You are a busy woman, Corinne.
I love every minute of it.
I think that wine clubs, in particular in this area, listener, if you've never been here, can you be a wine club member if you're not in the area?
Yes. We've actually this year launched a 4th level to our wine club. So all 4 are very different. And we have members all the way through Canada and many in the US.
That's amazing. And it must be easier now that the trade barriers have dropped within Canada.
We can't ship outside of outside of Canada, but we can ship anywhere in Canada.
Right. So if you wanted to be a US wine club member,
you'd have to visit.
Come up and visit and pick up your shipment.
We have quite a few members actually from the US that visit maybe once or twice a year, and then we just hold their shipments for them.
Oh, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, make a weekend out of it.
Yeah. And wine club events are always so much fun at every winery.
We just did one hosted in the art gallery, and it was Paris themed.
Oh, oui. Très bien.
We had French music, French menu, a tasting, all the decorations.
Oh, that sounds
Some of the
fantastic.
wine club members dressed up.
Oh, yes.
One dressed up as the chef from the movie Ratatouille.
Ratatouille.
Yeah, even had a little mouse on his
On his
chef's
hat.
hat. Yeah,
I was thinking it would be a night where berets were in, like, you know.
they were.
A lot
Yeah.
of those.
Yeah,
Yes.
one must have that. And little scarves and yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That would be so much fun. And I've been to some of your events that you've had here, like your like the market in the summer.
Oh, the handmade market.
The handmade market, yeah, that was fun. And also I've sat on the patio and had, a bite to eat and many wine tastings here. So I'm very familiar with it. And it's just got such a really nice, relaxed vibe.
That's great. Well, I'm glad that's what we strive to provide. So I'm really glad to hear you say that. I think for all of us in the Ontario wine industry, I think our key to success is to become a valued part of the culture, wine and food culture, and the arts are part of that as well. And I think that's just make life better.
Yeah.
Enjoy life.
Yeah.
And,
It's nice to have like a sensory experience when you're here because it's not just about tasting wine, it's about other things as well.
we have a music program that Corinne, one of the things she didn't mention is
Another.
Corinne curates the music program.
Do you ever sleep?
I dream about so many different ideas. I wake up and I feel inspired just from being here and then traveling around and coming back with some new ideas. Where our goal is to make this a destination.
I think it certainly is. Yeah, and it's also cool because you can do things for of the different seasons as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a favorite event you've done so far?
I'd probably say, at the beginning of this year, we did a fabulous masquerade ball. And that was hosted in our production. So we completely converted the area. We had lights strung from all the tanks. We had art sculptures, red carpet, and everyone dressed up very fancy and had a masquerade mask. We had music. We do a lot of different themed events. I think another one would be our Fête au Blanc in the summer. So it's a beautiful party in the summer, hosted in the Vineyard. Everybody dresses up again in theme for the style, which is all in white. And we have beautiful meal and wine together.
Oh, that's like fun. Now, this episode is probably going to air in December. So tell us what's going to be happening then. So if someone's listening then, they kind of know, oh, I should come now.
Well, December it's magical on property because everybody's in holiday spirit. We do a lot of food and wine seminars in the off season in the winter months, anywhere from themes such as olives. We do one of my favorite parts. Another part of my job is our 6-course tasting menus. So our chef and we come up with a menu and we perfectly pair it with each course. And then I actually dine with the members and then walk every dish through and tell the story of the wine and food pairing and where the ingredients come from and how it was prepared. And it's about a 3 to 4 hour experience, but we do about 2 a month and they always sell out, but you can see them posted on our website.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
The other thing that we have in December is the fire pits.
The fire pits.
And our fire cone, the sculpture that it shoots out flames, and it's a real focus.
Oh, that sounds
Beautiful.
great. Yeah.
People have blankets and they cuddle up in the blankets and enjoy the fires, and there's food that Corinne provides, and it's just it's busy. It's busy in December here. It's busy all year round. We're really, really excited and thankful for the support we've received from the people.
Well, I think that's because you're out. Not that the focus shouldn't be on the wine because you're a winery, but you also focused on bringing people in, and then they talk about that, and then people will come in for the wine. So it's kind of like a whole 180 thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And more wineries are doing the same thing, and it's growing and spreading. And I think Niagara in Ontario are it's really, really being recognized as a serious and fun wine region. A lot more people coming, as Corinne mentioned, from the United States, but also from the GTA, which is a huge market that there's room for lots of people and lots of wineries. There's lots of room to grow. It's really quite an exciting time to be in the Niagara wine industry.
I think the first time I ever had your 13th Street wine was when I was actually living in Toronto and I was at the LCBO and I bought your burger wine.
Oh, yes.
Because there was Oh, it sounded so good. It was like, it was inexpensive, but also really, really good.
Well, Corinne can mention that because we just won a big award at the National
You should
Wine
try
Awards
it now.
for it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
We won gold, and it was tasted blind.
Really?
So a blend of Pinot Noir and Gamay, so one of our signature grapes.
Right.
Doug has a fun story about Gamay and Pinot Noir together, but it is just, it's gulpable, it's juicy, lots of raspberry, black cherry, a little bit of spice. And the Pinot brings that typical like Bing cherry and cherry earthy component to it. And the Gamay has some nice juicy acidity on the finish. And it's great with burgers, of course, but it's also just a great house wine.
Yeah, that's what I thought about it because I didn't have it with burgers. I just had it to drink with friends, and it was so good.
Cheese and charcuterie, it's excellent.
Yeah, I also like the burger rosé.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the burger white is popular too. And I did a little bit of research before this interview about your podcast, and it seems to me that one of the things you do, one of your strengths is important, and that is to break down some of the myths and the pretension, let's call it. And some people are intimidated by wine and wine people and the wine industry and everyone. You break through that, and the Burger Blend is one of our efforts to help you in that because it's great wine and it's at a very good price, and it's Ontario 100% VQA wine, and it's exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, that was my introduction to you. And then it made me want to come here and see what else that you had. And I think I came, and then I had did a wine tasting. I put together a wine tasting for a bunch of my friends, and this was one of our stops. And we sat right there on the patio where I'm looking right now, and had an amazing experience. And everyone just loved all your wines. So
we strive fundamentally to over-deliver wine quality related to the price point. That's important to us. It's part of our conversation here, is we want to deliver real value to people. A great experience, but real value. Yeah, and the feedback we've gotten from people, including yourself, is that we're doing a pretty good job with that. So we're going to keep doing that.
And it's also nice too because you've got that entry level. I hate to say entry level because it sounds like it's going to be crappy wine, but like the reasonably priced, affordable wine, let's say. But then you also have some really delightful reserves and really higher end wines that I've tasted as well. And your bubbly is fantastic.
Well, that's an interesting story because you're right. The Burger Blend is one example, but really we strive to make wines of excellence. And when we were first getting going, I remember with the traditional method sparkling wine, you can't call it champagne, but we wanted to make wines that could compete with real French champagne. So we brought some consultants right from Champagne over. Our supplier that was supplying us the bottles and the corks and the yeast and everything, he was part of the conversation. And these fellows they looked like monks. They were tall and thin. You couldn't crack us. They couldn't crack a smile if you told your best joke. They were really, really serious the whole time, severe. And they were tasting the wine. They were frowning and scowling. And they didn't speak English, I don't think, or at least it didn't let on that they did. And after this, I'm thinking, this is terrible. They don't like our wine. So I talked to our consultant from Lyon, who spoke English, of course, and he said, no, just the opposite. When they tasted our sparkling wine that we can make here in Ontario, they said, oh no, this is not good. So at that point I knew, and it's really funny because, and Jay, tell this story, about our excellent winemaker, J.P. Cola, that, growing up in Chablis, making wine in France, as you know, in France, it's very established. If you're from Chablis or you're from Burgundy, Bordeaux, you don't make sparkling wine. They only make sparkling wine in certain
Champagne,
areas.
yeah.
So I kid him that, he grew up in France as a little boy dreaming of making sparkling wine in Canada. He always laughs. But, I give him a lot of credit because his wines, and Corinne can chime in on this, he's an intuitive winemaker. He's terroir driven. Making wine for him is a romantic venture. It's not a science project. Sparkling wine is very different. The grapes aren't fully ripe. You want that. It's very technical. So I give him a lot of credit for making sparkling wines of excellence that can compete on a global scale right here in Niagara, along with reserve wines and other wines of very high quality So we make a broad range of wines, and anybody can find something they love here.
He does love the sparkling so much. I see him have a little splash every day. At the end of the day. Yeah.
Who can fault that?
That's right.
I mean, honestly, I think that's the best way to start a day.
Mhm.
Yeah. Or a dinner
finish,
party.
yeah.
A dinner
Yeah.
party. And that's one of our
A little
missions.
palate cleanser. if you
Yeah,
will.
that's right. It's not just for New Year's Eve or a celebration as
No.
it may have been in the past. It can be part of your daily enjoying life.
I think a lot of consumers and customers think of sparkling as it's supposed to be just for a special occasion, but it's just like any other white or red wine. And for myself, I find it very refreshing and, like Doug said, palate cleansing. So I always start my meals or events or parties off with sparkling, and I might even finish with it just because it's a great start and finish.
Well, and also, like I love it for award shows. Like, I love the red carpet. I'm a fashionista. So it's like, I will watch, like turn on the E channel and open a bottle of bubbly and watch, any award pre-show with a bottle of bubbly.
Yes.
And it's like the best.
That's fun.
And also for anyone that's dieting, I might add that I had a friend that was a model, and she said that they would always just have bubbly and like an orange or something, and that was like what they would eat.
Oh,
And that's how they stayed skinny. So just so you know.
it's also really good for your memory.
Yes.
It might be worth mentioning, Corinne, that our wines are very dry. Quite dry and they're made to go with food. And I think in terms of what you just mentioned, I think that's an important thing to mention.
Most are sitting, to give you an example, like our sparklings are sitting around 0 to 3 grams. And so if you were to compare that to a Prosecco, they're sitting around like 16, sometimes 21, 24. So when I love Aperol Spritz, so I don't like Prosecco because it's sweeter. So I always get our Blanc de Blanc, which is 100% Chardonnay. It's bone dry, and that's what I make my cocktails with or have an everyday wine just because it is dry and it's so much more refreshing.
I love Blanc de Blanc because I love that taste of that, like that brioche and that sometimes that little bit of sourdough where you're just like,
Yes.
like that to me is perfection in a glass. So yeah. And I see we have bubbly here in front of us.
Yes,
so
You're
I'm
gonna
just,
love this one.
loving this. Now I think what's going to be interesting for the listener for this tasting that we're doing is we're focusing on Gamay.
All 5 of these wines are Gamay, and it's, one, as a sommelier, it's so versatile for food pairing, but also for different styles that you can produce. So when I'm creating a menu with our chef and pairing, I could do an entire Gamay flight with our 6-course meals because they're all so different and offer a different component, especially with the acidity and the fruit and the different, you could use oak, stainless steel, sparkling.
And Gamay is one of the grapes that this region is known, the Bench region is known
Grows very
for,
well.
along with Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. Those are like the 3, like almost like the stellar grapes for this area.
Absolutely. As you know, it's a clonal cousin of Pinot Noir. And some people call Pinot Noir the heartbreak grape.
Yes.
We call Gamay the heartwarming grape because it belongs here and it excels here, both in the vineyard and in the cellar as well, and also along with food. It's, I don't know whether it's really a very good comparison. And Corinne probably cringes when I use this term, but I think it's kind of similar to a Riesling in that is so versatile. It's like a red version of Riesling, and that we make, as you know, here, sparkling. We make a Vingras. We make a Whitty single vineyard Gamay. We make an estate Gamay. We make a reserve Gamay with a little bit of oak. In the past, we've even made a late harvest Gamay. So it's very, it's also belongs here in the vineyard in terms of its winter hardiness. It's not as disease prone as something like Pinot Noir. It's just a great grape. It's productive as long as you thin it properly and don't overcrop it. It produces wonderfully for the grower and the winemaker.
And if you're a white wine drinker, Gamay is a really great gateway to red.
If you visit in the winter, it's great chilled.
Oh, really?
It is delicious chilled. That being said, like the summer is great because on a hot day, you can have a chilled glass of Gamay. The fruit comes out more. But in the winter, if you're sitting by a fire pit, you don't really want to have a big reserve red because then if it gets cold, it takes away all the flavor. Whereas Gamay is better cold. It's
interesting.
perfect.
Yeah.
So January, December months, fire pits and Gamay, it's perfect.
Oh, that sounds great. Like I've never had a chilled Gamay, so that sounds like.
Oh, you must try it. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, it's on my list. I'll write that down. Bucket list.
Butt in real quick, just because Doug, you mentioned that Pinot Noir is a clone of a clone cousin.
They're
So it's like
they're
a slight.
they're related.
Yeah, they are related. Like,
they are very.
You're not just saying like that.
They're genetically related.
Oh,
yeah.
And actually, the King of France banned Gamay at one time in the past.
No way.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, but more and more people are recognizing its value, and not just here either. We've had people from Oregon and Washington, express more interest. I think British Columbia, especially in light of this last winter damage, the last they had a couple of years of really bad winter damage. They're rediscovering its value as well. So it's a great grape.
And I will admit, when I first started like getting serious about wine, I was kind of like, Gamay, whatever, like that's beginner red. And then as I started doing this podcast, I really started to appreciate Gamay and go like, oh my God, this wine, this grape is really beautiful. And now I'm like a huge Gamay fan.
We call it Gamazing here.
That's right.
Oh.
Be Gamazing, drink Gamay.
That's right.
Do you have a T-shirt with that on?
I do.
We do.
Really?
Yeah.
I would say I would expect that because that would be amazing not to wear that. That's awesome. Yeah.
Well, let's start with the sparkling. So 100% Gamay. This one is picked early and 12 months on its lees. So you're going to get that sourdough, brioche, fresh dough, yeasty characteristic. And this one I think would be probably my favorite 13th Street sparkling. One, because it is so versatile. And I just love that it's unique. It's Gamay. You bring this to a party or a friend's house. It's something that isn't produced a lot in Niagara. There is, I think, maybe only a couple wineries doing Gamay as a sparkling. And a few are doing some as a red. So this is no skin contact. So it's a white juice.
I was going to say, it's very clear. So obviously no skin contact.
Yeah. So on the aroma, you're going to get notes of that red grape. So you're going to really get that red raspberry and that little bit of cherry component, that fresh dough. I get some almond and brioche on the aroma.
Yeah.
I love that part of it.
Definitely the raspberry. I don't know if it's because you said it, because I'm, everyone's susceptible to that, but
for sure.
No, it's very fruity though.
It's very fruity, but bone dry. And then when you have a sip of it, it's going to, the bubbles are going to be mousse-like and just settle on your palate rather than that sharp, prickly, like when we refer to Prosecco style. So very delicate bubbles, but you're going to taste a little bit more of the citrus. So you're going to taste more lemon. I get like a little bit of like fresh lemon, and then you get that white cranberry, raspberry skin. So you still get that little bit of red fruit, but then the citrus comes out on the finish.
And the bubbles are so pretty.
They're so pretty.
Yeah.
It's a really great. Like we said, everyday sparkling.
Oh yeah, like I would drink this every day.
Delicious.
Not that I have an issue, but
it's really versatile for food pairing as well. We can do classic, chips and fries and bloomy rind cheese, brie, goat's cheese. But recently, I just did something fun for the wine club, a recipe, and I baked kettle chips that we produce here. We make them fresh here in house, and I took all the skin off the brie and melted the brie on top of the kettle chips. And then took that out, and then I made a pear salsa just because you get a little bit of that tree fruit flavor and citrus in the wine. So I topped that up on there, prosciutto and hot honey. So it's kind of my take on a really fancy bougie nachos. So the pear's the salsa, because you can have a really fancy, delicious sparkling and then overthink and you want to get some special meal, but just some kettle chips and baked brie is perfect.
That sounds amazing.
So our wine club gets the recipe for that.
Wow. Well, can I steal it from you?
I can email it to you. Yes, for sure.
That would be great for like those award parties. Because I usually have friends over and we we drink bubbly and talk about people's outfits on the red carpet. And that sounds so much better than a charcuterie board.
And it impresses. It's something different.
Yeah.
Unique. And it maybe like 10 minutes. It's easy to prepare.
I love that. And this is amazing.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, Andrea.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Now, honestly, you wouldn't know that was a Gamay.
Oh, that's right.
You're so used to bubblies being Chardonnay or Riesling.
Mhm.
And I love when someone's doing something different.
Yeah.
What's the price point on that?
This one's $34.95.
Great. Yeah.
But again, we have this great special that if you buy any 6 wines, you can get 10% off. So you can get all of our sparklings and save a little bit of money.
Oh, that's nice.
Mhm.
Yeah. But you know what? $34.95 for a good bottle of bubbly is very reasonable, I think.
Oh, because you're going to spend a lot more for champagne in the store where, I mean, I haven't even bought a bottle of champagne in years since I've started working here because I can get a French winemaker's produced traditional method sparkling. It's perfect.
And you can go to so many of the wineries in this area have really great bubbly.
Mhm, they
Great
do.
bubbly.
And
They
you
do.
can go and go from one to one and go like, yes, 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 yes.
That's right.
Yes. And then you have a full cellar. So it's perfect.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They don't last long in my cellar, but
No, I'm the same way. I'm like, I have shelves, and then I'm like, why is the bubbly one always depleting?
yeah. This will age really well, though. You could age for 3 to 5 years, and if you want to get even more biscuity and brioche, you could even go 5 to 7.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And is there a time limit when you can't? When it's like it's reached its peak?
10 years for any wine is kind of a max. I would recommend, unless it's you're getting some Brunello or Amarone from Europe. But for Niagara wines, I think 10 years is a good guide. You can go a little bit over. It would just depend on the grape varietal. But Gamay, Riesling, Chardonnay, they all age really well in Niagara.
That's good to know.
Mhm.
Yeah, because sometimes you go to places and you look there at like a wine list at a restaurant, and there's like wines that are like 20 years old, and I always wonder like, are they actually going to hold up?
Some will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just depends on the producer and the wine.
Cool. Well, next we're moving on to another Gamay.
Mhm.
Ah.
So
And-
this is, we call this the Vingras. So it's Gamay done in a rosé style. So when we pick this, it's a very soft pressing. So all the free run juice just comes out. And then that's why it's that really nice pale color. If you
Yeah.
were to think, I kind of describe it as a Provence
I was just going
rosé
to
color.
say it's like it definitely
Yeah.
has that Provence rosé color
so
to it.
really pale, and it's a really pretty rosé. This is a rosé that's one of our most popular rosés, and we have brought it back every year. It sells out every year as well, unfortunately. So everyone's excited when it comes back in the spring. And I love because it has tons of acidity, but it also carries, just like with the sparkling, a lot of that red fruit. So you're going to smell in the aroma some of that like wild cherry, red raspberry. You still get that lemon citrus. But on the palate, it changes a bit, where you're going to get a little bit more of grapefruit and some red grapefruit, white grapefruit, and some guava, and then some citrus. So it has lots of layers.
It's also very creamy. It's
Mhm.
obviously malolactic, right? Fermentation, because it's not that you would expect it to be very crisp, but it's not. It's creamy.
It has
but
really
it's-
good acidity on
It really does, yeah.
And then
yeah.
you get that little bit of minerality. And this makes it very versatile for food pairing. I always recommend, I love making wine cocktails. So you can make a really good margarita with this.
Really?
Yeah. We've done some really fun wine cocktails here with infusing with wine, because wine is juice. So just omit any of the juice. You can use this with some fresh lime juice, put some jalapenos in there, add some tequila. It's been tried and tested by a few of us here. We even have put a recipe in our wine club for it. It's really great with Mexican and tacos.
Oh
as
my
well.
gosh, that
Or
sounds.
ceviche.
You know, when Corinne runs a very popular wine cocktail program here, and when she first proposed it to Karen and I thought, oh no, is this? I can't believe. First of all, I can't believe she's doing this. She's suggesting it, and the next thought was, what's JP going to say about this? Like I found out, to my surprise and delight, JP Colas is a closet mixologist,
Oh.
and he loves it.
Loves
and
it.
he's into it. And Corinne and him talk. And I thought he wouldn't want to do that with his wine, but he does, and people love it. It's discovery, it's exploration, it's fun, it's new territory, and they have embraced it, and so have our customers. At the bistro, it's very popular. The Vingras on its own, or some of these wine cocktails that Corinne makes, and just like her dishes, And the Chef Barry here, the dishes that he makes, they're fun, they're exciting, they're different, and people embrace it. It's really, really exciting.
Well, it kind of like breaks down again what the role of my podcast is to break down that whole like attitude that wine is really, really snotty and and exclusive. But it's like if you can make cocktails with wine, why not, right? And I think that's a really cool thing. They've done it at other wineries too.
Yeah.
Sure, yes, they do. Yeah.
And now bars and restaurants, it's very trending. So I think that it's exciting that I think years ago we experimented with some cocktails.
Well, see, you're like groundbreakers.
Yes.
Well,
Trendsetters, if you will. Yeah. That's a very, very, very lovely rosé. It's light. I love those French style rosés. So it's just like, if you're a person that likes sweet rosés, you're not going to like this.
Right.
But if you like more of a drier, more like less citrusy, this is a perfect rosé for you.
This one's very popular with our bistro. A bistro here, and it sells wine by the glass sales of it are really, really good because it goes so well with food. It's a patio wine. It's a fun wine. It's a summer wine, but it also sells well the rest of the year as well. But I would say, yeah,
it's unique because in the bistro, sometimes you can have a red wine focused dish, and the rosé, the vinegary, will go with it because it's still a red grape.
Yes.
So it really is, it's versatile in that sense. And if you really like fruitier rosés, having something like with goat's cheese, because we always say like the food should go with the wine, but if you were to pair it with some goat's cheese, it's going to bring out even more of that wild strawberry and guava flavor. So it won't be as dry. It's still dry, but it'd be fruitier. That makes sense.
This podcast is making me hungry now.
Good.
But you have some amazing ideas, Corinne. I love the way your brain works around.
Thank you.
Don't we?
Yeah. Well, good hire here. She's amazing. How long have you been here for?
I am 10 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Woo.
And if you go to the wine bar, she even has her own little tree ornament mascot that's hanging.
Little sommelier mouse.
Sommelier mouse.
I love that. That's perfect. So now we're going to get into actually what the color of Gamay really is.
So we have
beautiful light purple.
Yeah, so we have two reds. So we have three reds actually, but the next two reds are both unoaked. The next one we're going to try is a single Vineyard, 100% Whitty Gamay. And this one I find is a little bit more delicate than the estate Gamay. So Jean-Pierre really loves using a blending technique with this, but he pushes down all the skins and kind of marinates that for 3 to 4 weeks, stirring it up. So all that flavor and concentration goes into the juice, which is giving a lot more flavor and tannin and color to the wine.
It's a beautiful color. Beautiful nose on that too.
This one's a little bit more savory than the estate one, I find. It's really unique to compare all three. But this one, you're going to get a lot more of that. So it's really jammy, juicy raspberry, but with that little bit of the terroirs coming through with the mushroomy, earthy component, some violets. You get a little bit of the pepper, that component that is known with Gamay, but it's more fruit. So really juicy and just easy drinking. No tannins on that.
Yeah, no tannins at all. I feel like I can taste that earthiness.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that earthiness of it.
Yeah, this one's special because it's also named after Doug and Karen Whitty as well.
I kind of figured the Whitty.
Yeah, the Whitty.
Well, it's kind of fun because somebody can come here and drink a Whitty Gamay and look over there and there's the Whitty Gamay vines. So, I think that connection between the land and the bottle, the product, the wine, I think that's really important. And that's part of our vision here because a lot of people, especially young people, they want that connection. They want that story, if you will, which you're helping to tell. And that's a connection to the land and the history and the people. And terroir is about the soil and the climate and all those physical, static things. But there's also a human element to it as well. They say that the best fertilizer in a vineyard is the boot print of the wine grower. And same thing with a thumbprint of the winemaker on the wine. And so terroir involves people and the skills and the techniques and the passion. It's an all-encompassing word that I think a lot of people just focus strictly on the site-specific physical properties, but it's much more than that. And as Corinne is describing to you, that comes out in the wine.
Oh, it definitely does. And because, I've had that experience in wine tasting where you have like you have two different wines that are from a vineyard that's side by side. And it's the same grape, but just that little bit of difference makes like that little bit of distance rather makes a world of difference in the wine. It's insane how much the terroir affects so many things. And I think that's part of the joy of experience,
Right.
of
Yes.
exploring wine is like when you go, it's so cool that the land has this much of an impact on what the grape tastes like. And not just that, but it's like the weather conditions,
Everything.
everything, planting like I'm sure like you owning a winery is not like just for fun. It's you probably spend a lot of time, like drinking, taking aspirin and going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Especially when you look at the weather forecast and you're like, oh yeah.
Well, yes. Mother Nature, people talk romantically, wax poetically about Mother Nature as this sentient, loving being, and she's not.
No, sometimes she's
you
a
got to
bitch,
respect. You got to respect her, and if you're not careful, she'll kill you.
Yeah.
So it's it's a striving, it's a passion, and it's interesting. I met an old German grower, and he said once he's tired of hearing about young people talk about that they have a passion for the land. He said, "What is passion? Passion's about sacrifice, right? Because what is a passion play? It's about sacrifice. So unless you're willing to sacrifice something, you don't have passion." And I would suggest that if you're successful or in the wine industry sustainably for any period of time, you have to have passion, and that involves sacrifice. And that's why people find our industry so attractive, and people that work in it are, they're willing to be part of it. They love to be part of it because it's about something beyond just the normal. It's a vocation more than just a job.
Yeah. And there's always something new to explore with every vintage.
Yes.
Like you could have the same grape grown in the same vineyard, and that wine is not going to taste the same from year to year.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. Especially in Niagara, I might suggest.
Yeah. It's because I always reference this. Every bottle is a stamp in time.
That's right.
And it can never be replaced.
And there, as you've mentioned, alluded to, that therein it lies the romance. Therein lies the excitement. The intrigue, if you will, of wine versus other beverages. Let's call it.
Yeah, like I've talked to so many winemakers, and it's always eye-opening to listen to how much time they spend in the vineyard, and how they go in every day and check on the grapes, and they're involved in the picking process, and they're just like, it's such a hands-on thing. People think, winemakers just go and take the grapes and make the wine. That's not the case at all. Like a winemaker is there from inception.
Well, and yes, and then even in the cellar, our winemaker is an excellent winemaker, and one of his specialties that he's really good at is blending. And that's a whole another science unto itself, and also the use of oak barrels. We'll get to it in a minute, but we do have an oak barrel program, and there's a lot to it.
Which kind of, do you use Canadian oak, American oak, or?
We don't use Canadian oak
French
currently.
oak?
I'd love to. We haven't done that yet. Mostly French oak. It's fine-grained oak that we use, but from different forests. But we also use Slovenian. We do use a little bit of American oak, depending on the variety. American oak tends to have a coarser grain. It'll be used for certain grapes that have a whip and a chair, let's say. But it's interesting. It's interesting because we just had a whole shipment of oak barrels. I don't know if you've seen. We just got a whole bunch of oak barrels, and I said to the oak barrel supplier, I said, there's millions of oak barrels made every year, not just for wine, but for whiskey and all sorts of other bourbon, all other products. And aren't we going to run out of oak trees? And his response was really interesting. He said, it's a peace dividend. And I said, what do you mean by that? And he said, well, a few hundred years ago, the kings of Europe, all their war machines were made with oak. The catapults, the ships, everything like that. And so for military reasons, for security of their nations, they protected the oak forests to ensure that they'd always have the ability to make war. They never imagined the day when you'd build a ship that was made of metal, because it would sink, right? Well,
right.
We found out it didn't. And the metal lasted longer and was able to withstand, cannon fire or whatever. So they didn't need the oak for war anymore. And as a result, these forests are still protected. And there's lots of oak to make wine for wine lovers for now till eternity. Right? So
Wow.
I thought that was a cool story.
That is a cool story. I
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
And I believe it's true. But that's what he told me. And it makes sense. Yeah. Every time I see a barrel, I think of that story. And I think, wow, peace dividend. That's great.
Yeah, that is cool. It's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make wine, not war.
Another great T-shirt.
That's right. Even your headband.
Yeah, make
the
wine,
whole
not
bit.
war.
Peace band.
That would be Gamazing.
That's right. Oh, yeah.
Love that. That is a really cool story. Where is the next one from? Which vineyard is that from?
So the next one, we do a blend of a vineyard. So we primarily just Niagara. A little bit of Whitty goes into there. And this one, so the same thing, it has 3 to 4 weeks skin contact. So it has pushing down all the caps and the skins. And this one I find is a little bit more spicy. So you're going to get on the aroma and the palate, lots of raspberry, black cherry, some licorice and some spice, whereas we didn't get any of the licorice and the spice with the Whitty. This one has a little bit more acidity. And I find that spicy black pepper that you get in Syrah, when you get that nice fresh cracked pepper. So this one shows that on the aroma and the palate. And the fruits, I find it has a bit more concentration. So they're both I refer to the Whitty as delicate. And then whereas the estate here is that just has a bit more powerful spice to it. I like the Whitty at the temperature that we have it right now, just as a room temperature. Whereas the estate that you're drinking, this one's great chilled. So in the winter, having this one lightly chilled, it thrives off that. This one's also available in the LCBO.
Okay.
The estate, yeah. It has a nice, I guess I can describe to your listeners, it has a teal label on it. Teal and white.
If you're looking, yeah.
Yeah, if you're looking. Both very versatile. Both great with cheese and charcuterie.
Although now on
pair
that
so
second
well.
sip, there's a little bit of pepper on the...
A little bit of pepper.
Yeah. Very nice, though. I can see how that would be good chilled.
Mm-hmm.
So we have one more to go.
So this last one, this one is our reserve. Gamay. And this one, when I first started 10 years ago, I was able to actually go back and work with Jean-Pierre for a few weeks, which was probably the best experience as a sommelier because you can learn through a textbook, but when you're hands-on with a winemaker, and Jean-Pierre's a really good teacher, he had about 26 barrels all lined up, and he had a sample out of each barrel of different Gamays, and we both had to make notes on what we tasted. So one barrel might have been really fruity and tons of cherries and raspberries, where the next one might have been more vanilla. The next one had more earthy notes, and maybe another one was more smoky. So he has continued that style of his blending, and he takes maybe the best, 13, 14 barrels and makes that blend, but using a little bit of some new oak, some third, some second, just so it has that nice balance to it. And that's what he's famous for with his winemaking. This one's 12 months French oak, and again, different sizes and different uses. So it's only a few of brand new. You're going to get still that raspberry, black cherry, licorice, and spice, but you're going to get more of layers of truffle and some milk chocolate and vanilla in there. And you're going to get that pomegranate jus, and it just has those layers and layers. And sommeliers love, tasting notes. It's romantic and it's telling a story about the wine. But this one, it's so food friendly. The party we just had on the weekend, the Paris-themed party, this paired better with the beef bourguignon over the Pinot Noir. It was fantastic, and that was agreed with Jean-Pierre as well. We tried both, and it was just because of the acidity. It balanced so well.
It's so soft as well.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Yeah. It's got just that parade of flavors.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very fruity. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a sommelier, so I don't have all the tasting notes that you have.
That's okay.
But you may not be a sommelier, but I understand you're a fashionista.
I am a fashionista,
And
yes.
I remember that year when Corinne worked with Jean-Pierre right in the production. and you would have loved her rubber boots. So I know it's not about wine, but it kind of is.
Well, you still want to look cool.
Yeah.
So tell Andrea about your rubber boots.
So I love red lipstick. My favorite color is red. Probably, as you can tell, I'm wearing red, but I had red rubber boots.
Nice.
So I showed up and I had red leather boots, all in black, and red lipstick. And I think Jean-Pierre was like, oh, I don't know if you're going to be ready for working, but
she was. So.
I did. I spent 3 weeks with him. I cleaned out tanks. I was in the tanks.
The crush pad's never been the same.
You can still look good while doing crap,
Right,
Took some pictures, lots of pictures, drove the tractor.
That's great. I love that. Yeah.
It was really fun. I still have those red boots, rubber boots.
Why wouldn't you? You know what? Yeah. So
you have to have a little black dress and red shoes and red boots.
Yeah. And a good red lipstick.
Red carpet ready, right?
That's right.
You're ready.
Right. See, you should do an award show thing here.
That's right.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah. Your wines are really great. Like this, I really like this reserve.
Mm-hmm.
The Sandstone, it's called.
Yeah. So and you know what? Like I said, simple cheese and charcuterie, but I also love to cook. So if you were to have anything with lamb or even a nice steak, like it's so, you don't have to have that big heavy red. It's just an easy drinking.
Yeah, I was thinking like a lamb with lamb kebabs or something. This would be really good.
And wouldn't you say that there's a movement among consumers away from the big, heavy, overly oaked, high alcohol, high sugar reds and more to more delicate, say, Burgundian style wines?
I love those big ballsy reds, but I like them when I'm having a steak. But I tend not to drink the big, bold ones just on their own.
Yes.
This is something I would open a bottle and drink on my own.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say yes.
Yeah, I would say the market is showing us that the people are tending towards more delicate Burgundian style wines. That seems to be where the growth is in the marketplace.
Which is great because this area is known for Burgundian style wines. So you're,
Does that relate to also aging wine versus drinking it pretty quickly off the shelf as well?
Ooh, Gamay ages very well. I have been collecting every vintage, and I can't just do one. I have to do a few so I can test them out. And all of my Gamays have been aging so beautifully. I love how they've been developing. They get a little bit less fruity, more of that earthy note comes through, the terroir comes through, more mushroomy flavors. The Sandstone with a nice mushroom pasta, delicious. Add some goat cheese in there to make it a little bit creamy because then it helps with the acidity. You put some little shaved truffles in there, some nuts. It's really good.
She's making me hungry.
If you air this in December, your listeners, this whole flight is great for the holidays as well. We also talk about how Gamay it's a great turkey wine.
Yes, great ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're having a dinner party, listeners, just invite Corinne and she'll come over and tell you what to do.
Yeah, send me an email. I'll help you pair.
That is fantastic. I love this little trip down Gamay Lane today.
We'll have to use that.
Gamay Lane.
Gamay Lane. Yeah, wow. We'll have to make a part of the sculpture park.
Yeah, Gamay Lane. Yeah, but because we always try on the podcast, we always try so many different varieties of wine, but it's really fun to focus on one wine.
Sure.
And to see the evolution through different styles of it. From bubbly to the reserve. Thank you for this experience.
You're very
welcome. It's been so much fun to just sit here and talk with you guys. And I'm really, it's also because I've come here so many times just as a consumer, it's nice to meet the people behind the scenes and to actually be able to showcase you and your winery to the rest of the world.
Well, thank you for coming today. And also thank you for your work that you do. It's really important.
Thank you.
So we're appreciative of that. Thank you for your kind words.
Well, you know what? You guys have been awesome. So listener, be sure to visit our show notes because we're going to have lots of pictures of the winery here. There's also going to be a link to the website and photos of the wine. If you want any of those recaps, it's right there. So don't forget to also like and follow Spill the Wine on social media. On Facebook, we're Spill the Wine Podcast. On Instagram, it's Spill the Wine _podcast. And we also do have a website, which we're excited about, spillthewine.ca. If you have any suggestions of wineries we should visit, any questions that you want to, or any comments that you'd like to make, you can send us an email at contact@spillthewine.ca. And also, when you're listening to the podcast, be sure to make comments like us, follow us, tell your friends. The more people that listen, the bigger the audience gets, the more Ontario wines get to be known. And we're so excited to spread the word because I love this area. I love these wines. And I love you for listening. So thank you so much. Let's say cheers,
Cheers.
Cheers.
and we'll see you next time.
All right.